Hello and welcome. My name is Christine and I am the Cosmic Doula in this Zen Wellness space. Thank you so much for clicking this video. And if it's your first time, welcome to my Zen Wellness space. If you're returning, hey. So you may have stumbled upon this video, however you found me through the algorithm or via the Why Astrology resource that I shared. And so my intention for this particular video is to help people dive into their cosmic blueprint, dive into your cosmic blueprint. And in my Zen Wellness space, as the cosmic doula, I am really fueled by helping people explore and tap into their cosmic blueprint, their human design. And one way to do that is by diving into your natal chart. But a lot of the times I get questions like, where do I go to pull my natal chart? What are the settings that I should use? What are the best websites? So my intention today as a cosmic doula is to show you some of my favorite websites that I go to pull natal charts for my clients and different settings and things that you can play with in there to start you on your intuitive wellness journey as you dive into your cosmic blueprint. So let's get into it, shall we? I'll make myself a little bit smaller here. And again, if you found me via this Notion, beautiful Notion dashboard, which talks all about why astrology? Why are we doing this work? Why do we need to know our cosmic blueprint? Well, I go into all of it here. So, invitation to check that out. If you haven't already, I will make sure that I link it down in the description for you. So, one of my favorite websites, and I feel like is the best beginner website to go to, is astro.com. So, you can go to astro.com and it'll ask you to first register. Um, I believe it asks you to register for the website. So put in your credentials there. They don't really spam email you, so you could put in, whatever email you like, and you'll go ahead and get registered, which I highly recommend because you can save not only your natal chart, but your friends, your family, whoever. And so the first thing that you'll do when you go into astro.com is to enter your birth information. You'll need your date of birth, your time of birth, your exact time of birth, and the city that you're currently in. So I can do my natal chart. So once you go into your information is saved, I invite you to go into your extended chart selection. And this is where you're going to go to make sure that we have all the yummy components pulled when we pull your natal chart. And so you go into extended chart selection. And then you would go, there's different ways that you can pull this. So you can go, I recommend that you do the chart type, natal chart wheel, and then the start date, and then you're going to open up to zodiac and houses. Placidus is going to give you, let me start with actually whole sign. So whole sign is a great place to start. And whole sign basically means that each sign, or each house, excuse me. So each house will be associated with one sign. So one piece of the pizza pie, and you'll see an example of this when I actually cast my chart. But whole sign will be that each house will line up with one particular sign. And placidus means that it's a little bit intercepted. So you might have some intercepted houses, which we can dive into during a natal in another video. What's the difference between whole sign and placidus? But to make it easy, let's say you're a beginner and you want to get a gist of this whole astrology thing in a birth chart natal. Like, I just want a picture of my sky when I was born. Let's just start with whole signs. And then you have an option to do tropical or sidereal. Me personally, I work with tropical or Western astrology in whole sign. And then you're going to go down to display and calculations. And for me, these are the particular aspects that I work with and I utilize for my clients. So you can make sure that is selected, and pretty much that is basically it for additional objects. So this is like a part where I get a lot of questions on. So my favorite things to include in the chart is your mean Lilith. So this is going to be your black moon Lilith, and then Chiron, and these are asteroids, but you don't need to select those. I worked very heavily with the asteroids and the asteroid goddesses, so I have them selected here. But if you just, for the sake of this video, let's just unselect those, and even Power of Fortune we can get into as a more advanced. But let's do Lilith and Chiron and make sure that those are selected, and then you can go ahead and click Show Your Chart. And this is going to be a picture of the sky at the time at the time that you took your first breath. This is a picture of your cosmic blueprint. And again, if you want to know more about that and what that means, you can check out my resource here, and we go all into that. What is astrology? What is a birth chart? What's the point of studying your chart? But for right now, let's take a peek at the picture of our chart. So this is my particular natal chart, right? So as you can see here, Virgo is all in the sign, or the first house is all in the sign of Virgo, right? If I changed it to Placidus, this might be moved around a little bit. But for the sake of this video, this is where you would see your sun. My sun is in Gemini. My moon is in Virgo. My Mercury is in Gemini. And so you can read all of that here. Again, we have the Lilith here because we selected that. And then again, if you wanted to select some additional asteroid goddess, you could just go into that extended chart section and pull in those additional aspects. Let me just do that now so you can just take a peek. These are all my favorite goddesses to work with: Ceres, Pallas, Juno, and Vesta. And so I also like to do the Power of Fortune because that shows you where your fortune could land or how you can get different fortune in this time. So let's cast the chart and see the difference. So now I'm seeing my black moon Lilith right here. I'm seeing my Power of Fortune right here in Sagittarius. And I'm also seeing the aspects. So the reason why I like this particular astro.com is because it gives you a really good snapshot, right? It has, C for cardinal, F for fixed, and M for mutable, F for fire, A for air, E for earth, W for water. So quick snapshot, I can see, oh, I don't have many fire, but I have a lot of air and I have a lot of earth and I got a good amount of water. So I could see how my chart is balanced. I see that I have it's a great, astro.com is great for overview. Like things don't get too complicated, but it's great for overview. I will say that things get complicated, especially if you look at some of these lines. You're like, what the heck is going on? But I'll show you another resource that is great to look at. That a little less complicated, but astro.com is great for an overview. And I'll make myself a little bit smaller here. And another reason why I like astro.com, because you can go ahead and click with transits, and then it'll show you with not only the picture of the sky at the moment that you took your first breath, but it'll also show you where are the planetary alignments in the sky currently as of right now. And so I can see that the moon is in, or the sun is in Sagittarius, Mars is in Sagittarius, the moon is in Sagittarius, Ceres is in Sagittarius, right? But I know my natal moon, so that's going to be everything in black in this inner wheel. My natal moon is in Virgo. My natal sun is in Gemini. My black moon Lilith is in Virgo. My Mars is in Pisces, right? But the transiting Mars is in Sagittarius right now. So again, we'll go into transits in another video, but this is another reason why I like astro.com, because it's great for overviews. All right, now let's dive into another one of my favorite places to pull your chart, and that is Chani. A lot of people are very familiar with Chani. And I'm just going to enter my birth information right now, and I'll do that and I'll come right back. Okay, I put in my birth information. Now let's cast the chart. But just to show you the difference, Chani loves to use whole sign, right? What I use, what she uses. But just for the heck of it, because I shared it earlier, let's change it to placidus. And this is what I personally use is placidus. So let's submit the chart with a placidus and we can get a sense of the difference here. So the difference with placidus chart, would it be cool if I get in the middle here? Is that cool? Okay. So the difference with being placidus, you remember how Virgo, let me go back over here. Virgo was occupied the first house, and my moon and my black moon Lilith and my AC all fell into Virgo. With Chani, you could see my first house is still ruled by Virgo because it starts in Virgo. However, my first house is also Virgo occupies my 12th and my first house, right? So I see that my rising sign is still in Virgo. And what I love about the Chani app is she gives you the meanings of each individual sign or sigil, right? So you can come up here and like, okay, what the heck is this? If I come down here, I could see, oh, it's my ascendant. So my ascendant is in Virgo. It might look like it's in Libra, but actually if you zoom in, you can see it in Virgo, right? This is another good one. My Mars, right? What's this symbol? Come down here, look for it. Okay, Mars. So my Mars is at 0 degrees Pisces. So even though it looks like it's in Aquarius, if I zoom in, it's at 0 degrees Pisces. So this is another way to look at your chart. So Pisces in this chart falls into my 6th house. However, if I go into whole sign, let's see, Pisces or Mars, yeah, falls into the 7th house, right? So whereas in Chani, in Placidus, my Mars is in the 6th house. So you see the difference? If you have any questions, feel free to book a discovery call with me. I can answer the questions or I can pull and do a reading chart for you. But again, this is just an overview. And another reason why I love the Chani website, because they give you a brief overview of what each of these mean. So my sun is in Gemini in the 9th house. So what does the sun mean? What the heck does that mean? The sun is my identity. Okay, what does it mean in Gemini? It's curious and it's conversational. Okay, in the 9th house, what does that mean? It's all about travel, education, publishing, religion. So my identity has the costume or wears the costume of being curious and conversational. My son is the actor, right? So the actor is my identity. So how I show up is wearing the costume of curious, conversational. And where does this play out? Where is the set that this all plays out? In the sector of my life that rules travel, education, publishing, religion, philosophy, all of these yummy things. Hence why my identity is about talking and communicating about all of these astrology, right? It says it right here. I love it. I love it. And so not only does she talk about your big three, which is your sun, moon, and rising, your ascendant ruler, she talks about the gifts and the challenges, all just by casting your chart and pulling your chart here. Another very important thing that I will probably dive into in another video, which she shows here, is your natal moon phase. So I was born on a first quarter moon, and what does that mean? My Mercury is in Gemini in the 9th house. I can interpret that here. So this is another reason why I love Chani website so much. Okay, and then we'll go into one more website and that I love so much, and that is AstroSeek. Okay, so AstroSeek is again going to ask you to log in or register, I believe. If not, all good, just bypass it. But I'll go ahead and do that here, and then I'll look for my natal chart. And the reason why I like AstroSeek, because there's so much beyond the natal chart that you could do in here. You can learn about famous people if you want to look at different charts and see how it shows up. You can look at a birthday database, partnership, moon phases, which I love. They have great moon phase charts, numerology. They even talk about the Chinese zodiac. But let's get into it, okay? And so let's see. Again, extended settings. You can come down here, and I clicked all of the things that I love, which is my fortune, my Chiron, my Lilith, and the nodes. So I recommend you utilizing these settings as well when you pull your natal chart through AstroSeek. And then the orbs that I use are, I'm going to go ahead and uncheck these because these are minor aspects that, because I'm a little bit more advanced, that I dive into. But again, tropical versus sidereal. I'll go ahead and just do my fortune here, even though I have. Oh, so these are aspects too. So what are you displaying? What are you doing aspects to? And I have it at a. You could do it as a 0 orbit, as a 1 orbit. I like 1.1 orbit. So let's go ahead and calculate your chart. And so what I love about this, again, things are a little bit confusing, right? Confusing versus looking at an overview here and then versus looking here. You don't use, I see so many lines, I see so many things in this pizza wheel, I can get confused. Don't worry, just scroll down. And what I love about AstroSeek, it talks about the first house. So what's in the first house? My ascendant ruler. And it tells me all these things about my ascendant in Virgo. I can open it up. I can expand a little bit more to read a little bit more about my Virgo sign in the first house and what does it mean. It shows me some celebrities that were born with this same Virgo rising as me. So shout out to Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, why did I shout him out? That's the first name I saw. But Keanu Reeves is also Renee Zellweger. So all have Virgo risings. Shout out Tom Hanks. If you haven't heard music from his son, maybe you want to check that out, maybe not. I had a White Boy Summer, which I was obsessed with his music. Anyway, sidebar. Gemini, right? You'll see that. Gemini, I'm just talking to go on a tangent. Okay, let's go back to why I love AstroSeek so much. So it's not only shows you, okay, the first house. It shows you aspects. So my ascendant trines the sun, my ascendant squares Mercury, my ascendant squares Venus. And then if I want more information on that, I can go ahead and click that. My 10th house, this is where my MC is. So it's showing me my angles right now. Your angles are your AC, your MC, or excuse me, your AC, your MC, your DC, and your IC, right? So the first house is going to be your ascendant, where the sun was rising on the horizon when you first took your first breath on Earth. So your 10th house is also known as your MC, and that's the highest point of your chart. So this shows me all of that there. And then it goes into the sun in Gemini. What does that mean? The sun in the 9th house. What does that mean? The moon also tells me my moon quarter phase. So there's so many things that you can dive into just by pulling your birth chart on AstroSeek here. It also tells you a brief overview, the houses and the planets and the positions, what was retrograde, what was not in retrograde, right? So that's pretty cool to check out as well. And there was another reason, and you can pull your transit charts, which I do on a daily basis. I pull my transit chart, but again, we'll get into that on another video. This is already a good amount, so I'll stop right there. I think those are all, yeah, those are all kind of what I wanted to share with pulling your favorite charts. So I hope this was helpful. I kind of was all over the place, but as you see as my natal chart, because you all had a sneak peek and a view, I tend to be long-winded and I share a lot of information, but my prayer is that it's helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Feel free to download that Why Astrology to see what's the point in all of this and how it's so beneficial and helpful in our intuitive wellness journey. Invitation to book reading with me or a cosmic doula session with me, all of that information will be linked below. Until then, many blessings are on your intuitive wellness journey, and I'll catch you in the next video.